What's up, guys? Pokepasoda here, and we got a nice little video. We're going to talk about what is rotation in Pokemon and how does that really affect the grading card wise, playability wise, and then how does it just affect the collectability. But remember, we're Pokepasoda. Like and subscribe. Hit us up on the channel. Become a sub. We'd appreciate it. Now, let's go to eBay first. eBay, these are some of the prices we had. I think some of these are actually going to be finishing soon. So we had Attack Rare 3,500. This one's at $8.50. That one's still going dollar or $102. $1,700. This one's ending soon, guys. Okay. This one not a big deal. This one's ending soon. 43.75 right now. 43.25 for this one. That one has already ended. The Pristine 10 for Luz Clefairy. This one down here, the Mewtwo or the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. This one is ending very soon too. So let's go ahead and refresh this page and see where these cards are at now. All right, so let's head to the top. This one's got 15 minutes left at $4,700. Wow, man, it's crazy. 44.85 for this one, 18.25 for this one. This one's up to 670. Still 6 days left on it. This Enzork, I want to know what that guy that had for 1,600 then went it down, or 1,400 then went down to 1,000. I want to know what he actually ended up selling it for. 710 for the Mega Dragonite. 11.75 for this one. 6 days left. Holy smokes. Dang, $14.91 for that Mega Dragonite. I don't know. We got a $5,000 one that just came up too. This is crazy, guys. Crazy. Let's see, $3,800, 4 days left on this one. $1,500, 5 days left. We've got the Mewtwo with 30 minutes left at $1,600. So let's make a video. At the end of the video, we're gonna come back to this though. All right, so don't worry, we'll check it out. All right, so here we are. Let's talk about rotation. Let's talk about what is Pokemon rotation? Why do they have it? Why does it matter? Okay. So Pokemon rotation, it comes in when cards get released, their availability on the sets they have. Rotation. So let's say something comes out early of, let's say January of 23 or whatever. Okay. It'll be rotated out right around spring, usually April time of 2025. Rotation will be roughly 24 months, typically at 2 years. It could be closer to 30 months sometimes. But why they have rotation is so people that play the actual game, the TCG, it doesn't become to the point where cards become too big of heavy favorites. This is what was happening with Lorcana when Disney Lorcana first released. Chapter 1, Rise of the Floodborn, Chapter 2, and even Into the Inklands, Chapter 3, they did Into the Inklands got printed a bunch. Rise of the Floodborn in Chapter 1 did not. And so what happened was the people that were playing these Lorcana tournaments with these Disney cards, they were just dominating. They were just beating people severely bad because they had decks that were so good they couldn't be beat. And you could copy these decks, but it just became a stalemate at some of these tournaments. And why you didn't see a lot of stalemates was because the cards were so tough to come by, people just didn't have them. The value of the cards was insane. When Lorcana came out, Chapter 1, a pack was $5. Whenever you open that pack, you were going to make at least $15 off the cards selling them individually. I opened one pack of Chapter 1, I remember, and I bet I got $60, $70 worth of cards in them because I had a couple cold foils or I got a cold foil that was a good one. So Lorcana, that's what happened with them. They started getting too top heavy because they didn't rotate out enough. They didn't have enough product being pushed out. Pokemon's really good at it. They do a good job with it. So they rotate everything out about every 24 to 30 months. So that means what is being rotated out right now and what does that do for collecting, playability, investing, okay? Well, playability, you can't play those cards any longer in tournaments. So if you have a bunch of these cards that are highly sought after for tournament play of these sets I'm going to talk about here, you got to sell them. Because as soon as about April 10th hits, they plummet because they can't play them no longer in league play. Okay? Your standardized play, your casual play, things like that, you can still play with them. You can still go and have a Pokemon night at any card shop and play with a deck from the early 2000s. It doesn't matter. But if you're going to play league play, we're going to actually get ranked a little bit and play some tournament styles, you have to stay within rotation. Now, rotation for most cards is, let me actually grab a card so I can try to show you. Example right here, but I have one from Ascended Heroes, okay? Now, you'll see on there, if this camera would focus, I don't know. You see on there down by the logo, it has a letter H just right here, okay? That's the rotation, okay? So when that H is in rotation, you're good to go. But if it rotates out, let's say E and D, those sets are going to be done. And the reason with rotation why it matters is because Pokemon typically doesn't print sets after rotation. There are exceptions. Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, they did it for absolute ever. Okay, the Fate sets, it seems like they print those longer than they should sometimes. But for a lot of the other stuff, people get confused and they say, well, no, this isn't out of rotation. I found it, a year after it's supposed to be done being printed. Well, that's because Pokemon has pallets of these packs that just sit there and they put them in all these ancillary products. That's why XY Evolutions, you were finding that in stuff all the way into this Sword and Shield era. So you went through XY era, Sun and Moon era, all the way to Sword and Shield era. Like XY Evolutions is out forever because they printed a ton of it. Same with Roaring Skies. Roaring Skies had a really, really small print run when it first started, highly playable though. And so Pokemon said, hey, we got to up this because people are starting to scalp the heck out of this. They're making the booster boxes outrageously expensive. And so for the people that play the game, they wanted to make it fair. So they printed a ton of it. That's why Roaring Skies back in 2016, you could buy these boxes, even 2018. You could buy these boxes for under $100. It was pretty wild. Roaring Skies is a great set. Rayquaza set, love it. So let's go through some of this stuff that's going out of rotation. Now, the first set that's going out of rotation, which I guess you'd probably guess, is the Scarlet Violet base set. Okay. Now, Scarlet Violet base set, we're going to go through some of the actual stuff on here. Talk about mostly ETBs and booster boxes. So your ETBs, when you go on here, you got 326 for the market price for the Miraidon, the Crydon. I don't know if one of them, these are the Pokemon Centers one. I don't know if one of them is better than the other to me, but not a bad price. The actual ones that aren't Pokemon Center, though, those are $100 about. So if you don't have these are a good pickup. Now, the other thing we got to talk about is the booster box here. So the Scarlet and Violet base test booster box is about $255. This sell-through rate on this one isn't that impressive. We'll go through a 3-month. This was at $230, and now it's at $270 about. If we go through the 1 year on this one, though, you're going to see it was down as low a year ago to $170. Like, this one was still on Pokemon Center a year ago. Went through a big increase, got to 250, then it went to a low, and then it went to a new high at 270. Now, these aren't selling a ton. You got 29, 13, 10, 4 items sold within the last couple days. The ones listed here, 255, 15 shipping, no 0% feedback. I'd stay away from that. 100% feedback, 275 shipping included. So 275 is what Paldea, or not Paldea, but Scarlet Violet base set is. Now let's go to Paldea Evolved. This will be the next set that goes out. I shouldn't say next set. These are all going to go out of rotation on April 10th. But this was the second one ever printed or made for the Scarlet and Violet era. Now this one, you look at them, Pokemon Center ETB is $504. Think to yourself, why is this Pokemon Center ETB so much more? It's because of the promo. It's got the Pikachu in there. It's a great looking card. So that's going to hold a lot of weight. Now, if we look at the booster boxes, they're $417. Now, $450 right here is what it has. There's some listed, let's see, $450. This is a good seller, $450 right there. Now, you look at these, the 1 year graph on these a year ago were $219. It's crazy. They got up as high as 472, and now they're down about the 417 mark. The sell-through rate on these are selling about a dozen of these a day. Remember, after April 10th happens, there's no guarantee they won't print them. They could print them again, but it's most likely they're probably not going to. So we'll see. But that's the second set, okay? Paldea Evolved. Obsidian Flames, okay? I opened a ton of Obsidian Flames. Like, it was, I didn't even care for the set, to be honest with you, because the Charizard chase was fine, but kind of was what it was. I didn't think it was the best looking Charizard. So, Pokemon Center ETB $516. Why is it $516 when the regular ETB is still $170? That's crazy. It's because it has the Charmander. The Charmander looking through the window, seeing what's going on. That promo is fire. So this box is extremely valuable. Now the set price, okay, $316 is what we're selling a booster box for this for. Okay, this would be pretty equivalent to, I would say, oh my gosh, what's the second one that happened? Darkness Ablaze. Darkness Ablaze. This is like a twin copy of Darkness Ablaze. That was kind of a dog shit set. Obsidian Flames, I'd agree. It is. You could almost buy the whole set complete for $317, the price of this booster box. Now let's check out like the 1 year on this one. Okay, a year ago this was $191, still above MSRP, of course, because you're still able to last year in February get stuff off Pokemon Center. Like people forget. Now this one did get to a high of 331. Now we're at the 316 mark, and the sell-through rate on these is roughly about a little over a dozen per day. So these are selling. So, um, looking through these, we got 350, 330 right here, 350. I mean, sell-through rate on them is going pretty good. So if you don't have this one in your set, this is the third one that came out for the Scarlet Violet era, Obsidian Flames. I'd consider putting some of that in there. And again, these ETBs are not cheap because they have Charmander. They have a Charmander promo that people love. So now, what do we have here? We got 151. Everybody loves 151. I love 151. Okay, I opened a ton of it. I have 151 stuff everywhere. Right here, empty 151 boxes, tons of them. Okay, nothing in there anymore. I've opened them all almost. Now, why do we all love 151? Because it's the original 151 Pokemon. Now, this was especially set. No booster boxes. Let's check out though the ETBs. Okay, Pokemon Center ETBs. These ones right here, they're pretty wild. $984. The sell-through rate on them is they sell a couple of these per day. Okay. Now, how much or how many of these are available? $955 for this one, $984. That one says for anyone opening discount. I don't know what that means. $1,000. So this is the $1,000 ETB now. Why is it worth that much? The promo, the Snorlax promo. People love Snorlax. Okay. 151 is a good set anyway. So if it had a crappier promo, then this thing would probably not be worth as much. And we'll go through a set that's exactly the case. So if you don't have 151, I would get some. I would still get some right now. Just the ETBs alone says 260. That's because some price brought it down. Unopened, 0 sellers. Yeah, dumb. 415, 450, $500. You're 6 or 7 sales away from $500. What's the sell-through rate on these? You're having these sell one sold a day for 450, 450. 480 on that one, unopened for 410. So, how many they're just selling? They're selling about half a dozen a day. So, if you don't have a 151 ETB, strongly suggest to add to your collection. Right now, for this price, it's a tough go because I can get a prismatic ETB from Pokemon Center for less than this. And so you have to really start deciding where you want to put your dollars. 151, it's a great set. This thing has just done nothing but went up. So that is the fourth set that came out with the Scarlet Violet era. That's the 3.5. So here's number 4. Okay, number 4 here is going to be Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift now, if we start going into the booster boxes of this, booster boxes of these, we'll look at the sell-through rate kind of, and we'll see that the unopened is 270, 275, 262, 265. Paradox Rift is one of your cheaper boxes you're going to be able to find. They have them listed everywhere around that 270 mark. The sell-through rate on these, the 1 year total, is this thing was down to 175 last year, skyrocketed to about 325. Some reason, I don't know why. But then it went down again to about the low, 230s, and now it's about 250. Paradox Rift, if you don't have Paradox Rift in your collection, now's the time to buy it. This is going out of rotation. Once it's out of rotation, it is what it is. You're not going to find it. But the ETBs, a lot of you had seen these in there. Now, when the hype was happening last year, starting back up, these were the ETBs that sold. All these ETBs. You could go into Walmart and they would have basically a sticker that says last chance to get it, and it'd be $39.99 or $35.99 or something on there. So I bought some of these. I didn't buy a lot because I just didn't care for Paradox Rift. But the ETBs now, the Pokemon Center ones are only $200. Okay, and then over here, this Paradox Rift one's $175. So if you don't have Paradox Rift Pokemon Center ETBs, I definitely get them. The actual ETBs alone, they're going to be right around the Scarlet and Violet base set price. They're about $100 each. And the sell-through rate on these, the Roar and Moon one especially, these got up to about 110. They're down to now the $100 mark. These are selling just a couple of these per day. So if you don't have Paradox Rift, something I definitely jump in that hoop to get it. And now the last set that is going out of rotation, guys, is Paldean Fates. My favorite Fates set there is. Hidden Fates, step aside. Shining Fates, step aside. Paldean Fates, that's where it's at. Not only did it have the 3 good chase cards, the Bubble Mew, the Charizard, Gardevoir, great cards. They had the baby shinies in there. They're awesome. Between Snorlax, Mimikyu, and Pikachu, unbelievable. Now, looking at these again, it's not an actual set. This is 4.5 because this is just a specialty set. When we start looking at the Paldean Fates Elite Trainer box, this one is about a $300 item now. Okay, $300. These were about 100, I'd say, gosh, probably 10 months ago. Maybe. I bought about 4 or 5 of them off Walmart for $100, and I want to say it was probably about February, March last year. But great set. The sell-through rate on these pretty good. Not a lot have been sold. One here, one there. Not a lot actually. This one doesn't sell very often at all. Let's go through the 1 year chart on this. So about a 1 year ago, yeah, about a year ago it was $100. That's probably when I bought them. So it got up to about $300, plummeted back down to $235, then got back up to $300 mark. These are selling through 8-1. So I would say every day anywhere between about 1 and 8 of these. But Paldean Fates, why is it such a good set? Just top tier cards. They're great. The other thing with Paldean Fates is you got the Pokemon Center ETB. Pokemon Center ETB, that is its own beast, but the thing is it's not being totally taken over by the regular ETB. And why is that? You have a Mimikyu promo. Mimikyu is a awesome Pokemon. I love Mimikyu, but not a lot of people do. And so this doesn't get the Pikachu, Charmander, Snorlax hype. That's why the Pokemon Center ETB is $400. Okay, $400, $400. The regular ETB is $300. So you have to ask yourself, would I rather have a Pokemon Center one versus a regular one? If I'm punching the ticket at 300, I might as well go to 400 to get the Pokemon Center one. That's just me, because Pokemon Center ETBs are truly the only thing we've ever had that is limited. Nothing else is limited. Pokemon Center ETBs, there's a finite amount, and we don't know what that number is. They're never going to give us that number. But even if it's 2 million, I mean, there's only that being made. And you're probably thinking, well, can't they remake them? Yeah, they can. They just did it with Stellar Crown, I think. They had a Pokemon Center ETB drop here about a month or two ago. So yeah, they definitely can reprint them 100%, but you just don't see it happen very often. So I would get the Pokemon Center one if it was me. It's a fantastic box. Sell-through rate on these is, actually more than the regular ETB. So that's what people are doing too. They're actually buying the Pokemon Center one versus the regular ETB. But yeah, crazy. But you guys, that's my take on it. I just want people to know that, like, when Pokemon Center's or Pokemon's rotating cards out, they're not rotating cards out because they don't want to print it anymore. They're rotating out because it's not playable anymore. So for the TCG game, they say, nope, like, we got to get rid of it because we can't let the decks get too top heavy with cards that are just dominating time after time after time. So they rotate it out. It's usually a 24 to 30-month rotation. So you got to think about, like, Ascended Heroes, for instance. This set that just came out the end of January 20 or January 30th, I think is what it was. So it came out January 30th. That means January 30th of 27 is only a year away. It's still printed. January 30th of 28, still gonna be printed all the way until probably April of that month or April of that year. So you have a lot of Ascended Heroes left that's going to come out there. And the fact that it is a specialty product, you're probably going to see it quite a bit popping up and some other stuff. The one thing with specialty products I can tell you is typically, like 151, you don't see that just randomly show up in a collector's box. Paldean Faith, same thing. You're not going to see it show up in collector's box. Same with Shroud Fables. Those sets usually have their own collector's boxes. So Shroud Fables has its own collection box. 151 own collection box. Paldean Fate's own collection box. Ascended Heroes will only have its own collection boxes. They won't drop that in with other products. So you're not going to be able to buy like a Genghis Khan box where it's going to have a Genghis Khan box, the new one maybe in like a year. It's not going to have Ascended Heroes in it, 2 packs of it, and then it's going to have like Phantasmal Flames times 2 packs. It's just not the way it works. The specialty sets, they stick to each other. But let's check those eBay auctions out again, guys. So we got these eBay auctions. All right, this one right here. This one ended. 19 minutes left. Let's refresh. Let's check it out. We'll have to go. This one's got 19 minutes left at 1875. Let's go to sold. Let's see what that Gengar's selling for. So 44.85 is what that one's sold for. What have I told you guys? Ace 10 Gengar. Right there. Sold. 2,000 bucks. 2,000 bucks, guys. If you are grading with anybody but PSA, you are wasting your time. Look at the Pikachu right below it. Ace 10, 970. Like, don't get me wrong. Okay. That guy could have sold it raw for probably $600-700, but he ace 10'd it. He ended up getting a few $100 more. So it is what it is. But you guys, like, it's not even close. Like, you're crazy for grading with anybody else but PSA. Gengar right here. Oh my gosh. It's criminal, guys. It is criminal. $1,857 for that one. Like, you have to be seeing this, guys. We have PSA ones that ended at $4,500 or more, and this ace 10, then you make 2,000. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Let's see if we can find those other sales that we had. All right, guys, here we got some more of these Gengars that are up. So we have an actual, oh, it's a Japanese one. Dang it. So we got the Gengar. We're going to go to English. We're going to go with a grade of 10, possibly. Maybe not. Let's go to sold. Go to the grade. Don't know why they have to make this so crazy. Did I type in the wrong number? 284 of 217. There's the problem. Yeah, they still have ones that aren't. That's criminal right there, guys. $1,800. So wild. $2,000. Insane. Oh my gosh. That is so sad. So, yeah, guys, if you want to buy a Mega Gengar and an Ace 10, you might as well buy the raw one at 1,000 because you still have the same chance sending that Ace 10 in to get a cross grade as you do a raw card, in my opinion. Holy smokes. That's so crazy. So crazy. I can't believe it. Professional grader. Let's go with PSA and see if they come up with those. I don't know why they're not showing up, but I could sit here and go through this all day, guys. Remember, we're Pokémon Soda. Like and subscribe. Let us know what we can do to help out the channel, and we appreciate you. We appreciate each and every one. Right now, it says 155 subs, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much, guys. It makes me feel great. I was able to spend the day with my family. We went to a Creighton Blue Jays game. They lost. Villanova got them, but it was an awesome time. So remember, guys, Poke Soda here. Like and subscribe, and always catch them all.